On the internet, you've definitely seen people making 3D magic with their Shapeoko machines. These items are amazing, the detail, the shapes. You might think this type of project is incredibly complex, but with Carbide Create and Shapeoko, you too can make 3D magic. Kevin Barnett back in the Carbide 3D studio. I'm going to take you through 3 simple steps in the software. That's all it takes to get you to the machine. Just 2 tool paths with 2 basic end mills, and you have the workflow along with the skills to conjure up 3D creations of your own. Let's do this inside 4 minutes right now. STL imports were added to Carbide Create Pro 7 last year. The full breakdown of the tool is on Carbide 3D Education. If you didn't know, we have hours of video training, file resources, manuals, and so much more located at my.carbide3d.com. Carbide 3D, truly your partner in CNC. For this project, we bought a file on Etsy, like many of you may be doing. If you're 3D printing, you probably have a number of these digital objects floating around as well. Step 1, import your STL object. You'll do this by choosing the Model tab in Carbide Create Pro. And 3 from the left-hand side, you will find Import STL File. Go ahead and click on that. Once there, grab your STL file, double-click, and it will be imported. In this case, it's already to the size of my stock. I'll hit Apply. We're going to show 3D. At the moment, it's only a 3mm height given the stock settings. I want it to be 18mm tall. Hit Apply. And our 3D now looks far different, and it's still inside of our stock. We have 19mm stock. That turtle tray is looking quite interesting. By hitting Done, we've created a component, the turtle tray. Step 2, you need to define the boundary of your object. You need a vector to create your toolpathing. On this one, I utilized a rectangle. With that vector established, you can head on over to the toolpathing. You're only going to need 2, 3D roughing and 3D finishing. By simply selecting that outer boundary rectangle and going to the 3D roughing toolpath, defining your tool utilized, in this case a 201 standard Carbide 3D end mill, and punching OK, you can then define your 3D finish with a 1/4 inch 202 ball end mill. Drop the step over of that ball end mill to 10% of the stock setting. Your toolpathing and software work are done. It's time to make this on the machine. How about some music and a montage? With that done, how about some takeaways? In CNC, you're always learning, and sometimes that means you're just remembering something. One of the things I needed to remember was to reduce the amount of excess area around my 3D body. It saves a massive amount of machine time. Additionally, you can go fast. I went the full 5,000 millimeters per minute, the max speed of the machine. By going faster and reducing my outline vector, I cut the machine time from 2 hours to 1 hour and 9 minutes. Next, cut your step overs to about 10 to 15% of the stock settings. A number 202 1/4 inch ball mill, stock 3mm step over, here finished at 0.32 millimeters. Additionally, go with a bigger ball end mill. That'll help your finishing time. When it comes to materials, you can go pre-dimension. There are more options than ever at the big box stores. In fact, our Lowe's even now carries live edge. Whether you're buying pre-dimensioned lumber or you have the ability to dimension it yourself, I recommend you go to hardwood. Raise the level of your stuff by raising the level of your stock. That'll do it. Simple steps in the software, an hour on the machine, and you're making CNC magic. We'll be back again in the Carbide 3D studio with more information, ideas, and inspiration.